Okay, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I have a lot to bring to you tonight, and I'm not going to lie, I am very excited. I have been excited for this team call for like a week now. Okay, so I hope you are ready. I hope you have some paper and a pencil, and I hope you just get so much out of this. Um, so this call is all about getting out of your own way, okay? Mastering the inviting process because we all know it's the big elephant in the room. Nobody wants to invite. It is hard to invite. It's hard to put ourselves out there, right? So I hope that after this call, you walk away with number one, some really good tangible items to take with you to help you with the actual inviting process, but also to have a mindset change, to have a new, fresh viewpoint of why inviting is an amazing opportunity and shouldn't be a struggle. It shouldn't be something that you dread every single day if you take on that new mindset. Okay. So also remember that during this call, the chat is open for you. Please ask questions and I will address those at the end so that we can kind of get some conversation going with that. I love having that conversation at the end. So just pop it in there and I'll check out the chat at the end. Okay. All right. So first I want to start off by you guys, I want to see a show of hands for those of you who can say honestly, inviting is a struggle for you. Raise your hand if that's a struggle. Okay. How many of you, I just want to know, how many of you said yes to the very, very first time that your coach invited you to something? Anybody? Jackie's the only one. Okay. So the majority of us, I'm going to say it took 1 or 2 or 3 or 10 times for that coach to reach out to you to invite you, whether it was a free group, whether it was the actual challenge group, whether it was the coaching opportunity. Like, we have to just be real and break this down, okay? We are so scared of putting ourselves out there, yet we forget to think about our own stories. And we forget to think about how many times did it take us to open up to a group, to open up to the idea of coaching, to open up to our health and fitness journey, right? And we have to remember that we are reaching out to people who are just like ourselves, right? Every single one of you on this call have your own niche of people, right? You have your own target market. And your job is to be able to reach out to that person who is just like you. Okay? So a lot of you who have it's taken some time to join this whole thing, you have to keep that in mind when you keep inviting those people and you're in your DMs and you're talking through their concerns and all of their struggles, okay? And your job is to not use your excuses of, well, this just feels salesy, this makes me nervous. You need to think, first of all, change your mindset. That would be my first tip for you is change your mindset when you go into inviting mode and think about who can I help? Who am I looking for? Okay, so I want to tell you guys who my person is. This is not your person, this is Joy's person. When I think about the opportunity of inviting, I'm looking for stressed out teachers, like teachers who were in the same place that I was in. I didn't love my job. I was losing my hair because of anxiety. I was not feeling fulfilled in my career. I didn't feel the passion of it. I was an emotional eater when I first started my health and fitness journey. I get people who deal with food issues, you guys. I still struggle with emotional eating. I'm looking for that girl, right? I'm looking for the girl who is stressed out in her job, who wants more for her life. That's the coaching side of the people I'm looking for. Um, like my mission, you guys, is to put my message out there that if you're not happy in what you're doing, Go get what you're happy with. Go find it. Do the hard work. You can change your life. No one else dictates your happiness. You do. You make those choices. That's my mantra. Those are the people I'm looking for. So people who are stressed out in their jobs, specifically teachers, people who don't feel fulfilled, people who are struggling with, eating disorders, emotional eating, not having support with their family. Like I relate to all of that, you guys. So those are the other joys in the world that I'm looking for, okay? Each and every one of you have your own background. You have your own people you're looking for, right? And you need to remember that when you're reaching out and you're inviting, it's your job to go find those people, okay? And if you're not willing to invite them and to have a little, be a little brave behind that scary screen that we all think, it's just so hard to send that message. Where would that person be without your help? Where would that person be without you being a little brave? Where would you guys be without your coach? Had your coach not reached out to you? Okay. So while we can say, I feel salesy or this is nerve wracking, really that is fear, right? That is fear that we're letting get in the way of us really making a difference in someone's life, because that's what we do, you guys. We don't just say invite every single day. We don't have this business activity tracker just for fun. We do this because we change lives. We do this because it's what produces people in our lives, okay? It produces the connection that we have. It produces those relationships, okay? So I want you, maybe not right now, but at some point, I want you to think about who you were before Beachbody. And you need to be speaking to that person, you guys, every single day in your post. And, inviting is just like, it's a confidence thing. How are you going to get better at inviting? You're going to have to do it. It's just like anything else in life, right? You don't get better at playing basketball if you don't ever play basketball. You have to practice, right? It's like with anything. So you have to do it over and over and over again to get better at it and feel more confident in it. Are you going to feel more confident in your responses to people if you're having more conversations? Yes. Is it going to feel uncomfortable at first? Yes. You may not know what to say at first, but you get better as you do it. Okay. So it's just like building that confidence muscle, just like we work out every day and we notice like little cuts here and there. Same way with your inviting confidence. Okay. So my thing to you guys is, well, you might be thinking like, well, how do I get more confident in inviting? Like what do I actually do? So I'm going to give you some tangible things you can take for the inviting process. But before we get into that, I want to tell you, like, inviting is not just inviting on its own. Like, it's not a standalone. It's related to other things on your page, okay? It is connected to your Instagram post, your Instagram stories, and then your direct messages, okay? So I want you to think about representing you, that girl I was just telling you about that I relate to, the old Joy before Beachbody. That person that you're thinking about in your head, the people you relate to, that should be shown on your feed, in your stories, and when you're talking to people behind the scenes, okay? Because here's the thing. If you're not showing your story, that girl that you're looking for that you want to help because you can relate to her, if you're not showing that in your feed and in your stories, and someone gets a random message from you and like, hey girl, I love that you are in my stories. Thank you so much for yada yada, whatever you say. And then you say, I just wanted to see if you wanted to join my challenge group. So what's the first thing that somebody's going to do when they get an invite from you? Well, if you're me, and I'm sure you guys are like this too, I'm going to go to that person's feed and I'm going to look at their posts and I'm going to look at their pictures. I'm going to see, what's this girl all about? And if I don't see, number one, that she's posted in a long time, I'm going to be like, what? If I don't see that she's talking about her challenge groups or this whole coaching opportunity that she just invited me to, Or if she doesn't even have anything in her stories about anything, because you should be posting in your stories 8 to 10 times a day. If I don't see any of that, I'm probably not going to respond to that person because I don't feel like she's legit. I don't see the correlation between her invite and what's on her feed, right? So I want you to think about your Instagram, or if it's your Facebook, but Instagram's the big where it's at right now, right? So think about your Instagram like a triangle. Or if you're like me, teacher mode, like the little recycle symbol, it just keeps going around. So think about a triangle, draw it on your page, whatever you need to do. And I want you to think about how inviting correlates to one part of the triangle, which is your Instagram feed or your posts. Okay? That's one part of the triangle. The other part of the triangle is your stories. The other part of the triangle is your direct messages. When you're in their inbox, you're inviting them, you're having those conversations. They should all connect, right? What you're inviting them to should be shown in your stories. Okay? Let me give you some examples. This week, my team and I are doing a free group. We have, well, a little less than under 100 now. But I am showing all kinds of stuff in my stories about the free group because I want to pump it up. I want to show people like, this is what I offer. I have a free group where I give you free meal plans, and I've been doing this for weeks now. I've shown it in my stories. I've given them examples of what my people are actually going to eat, like specific pictures. Today, I just took a little video of my laptop and I showed, that's what I'm trying to say. I showed them in my stories all the little gifts that everybody was so excited because it was just so fun to see everybody so pumped about the week and, doing 5 days. So I showed that in my stories. That is breadcrumbing what we do in our big challenge groups, right? It doesn't have to be anything huge. It can just be like you're on a team call right now, taking a screenshot of the call and posting it in your stories and saying, I'm so glad I don't have to do this alone. Showing the community of what we do. It's little breadcrumbs and little things that you should be showing in your stories all the time. And another thing, I could go through a whole list of everything that should be in your stories, but it's here, you guys, the business activity tracker, which we've talked about a lot. This has a whole section where it says update Instagram, Facebook story. It tells you exactly what should be in your stories every single day. Not every now and then, every single day. The first thing on there is daily life. Second thing, workout clips. You should show something about your workout every single day. You should show a product use every single day. Now, I do not say Shakeology. I do not say Energize. I don't name the actual product because we should be creating curiosity, right? I don't even show my Shakeology mug. I always put mine in a mason jar, okay? And you don't have to be like, this is so amazing. It has all that. You don't have to do all that. You can just be talking and have it in your hand. And I guarantee you somebody is going to say, what's that stuff you drink every single morning? They're going to see the consistency in what you do every single day. Putting a post on your page that has this amazing looking lemon fruit juice that they think looks so awesome, but you're energized, like they're gonna see you with this and they're gonna be curious about it. That's what you want to create, okay? So there should be some sort of product use in your stories every single day. Blending your Shakeology up, showing them the ingredients you're putting in it. Your healthy meal prep, you should be showing that every single day. A poll or call to action, it's all here, you guys. That should be in your stories every single day. Whether you're doing a random poll to get their engagement or a call to action to be like, hey, you want to join my free group? And then recognizing, this is a huge one, you guys. Every single day, all of you are plugged into a challenge group, right? There's amazing things that happen every single day. People are crushing their workouts. People are drinking their Shakeology. People are making healthier choices. You can screenshot anything in our challenge groups and recognize that in your stories. Because if all that's in your stories is you and your dog and you cleaning your house and other things, and there's nothing about like you being a coach and running a challenge group and having girls that check in with and that you are virtually connected to, like people get an invite from you and they're going to be like, what? Like, I don't get it, like they need to see the connection. Okay. So if you're ever wondering, like, what do I need to post on my stories? Like, what am I supposed to post in my feed? It's all right here on this business activity tracker. You should be following this every single day. I follow this every single day, you guys, because I can't remember in my head. Did I do that in my stories? Did I show that? So I literally go through and I check it off when I do it throughout the day. Okay. So think about your stories and your feed and your direct messages and how they are relating to each other. Okay. It's not just enough to do your stories. You also need to be posting to your feed, right? So remember that the girl that you're excited to help, the you from before Beachbody. Okay. Are you talking about that in your post? Are you talking about your challenge groups? Do they know that this week is a free group if you're running a free group? Do they know at the beginning of every month, this is the day that we're starting our 30-day challenge? Do you do shout outs of your challengers? Do you talk about how this person lost this much weight? Like it should be reflected. Okay. So now I'm going to get into some direct tangible things for the inviting process, but I just wanted to actually just put that out there because your invites are going to be null and void if you're not consistent in your feed, your stories, and then that aligning with your direct messages. Okay, so here are the inviting tips part. Okay, first of all, when you go to inviting mode, I want you to get in the mindset. Okay. In fact, when you wake up in the mornings and you have all the things you have to do, your regular work, your full-time job, plus your business activity tracker to grow this business, I want you to think about who you're out there to help and think of it as a game, like a challenge, right? Like who can I reach today? Who can I reach out to that's going to be curious of what I'm doing? They're going to maybe possibly join me. Who can I influence in a positive way today? And if they don't join me, who can I influence, right? Have that mindset and be positive about it. And when you actually go to set down, my advice for you is to set a timer, okay? I would think about your invite before you actually invite because sometimes that can be the hardest part. Depends on what you're inviting to, right? You could be inviting to a free group. You could be inviting to your challenge group. You could be inviting to some other thing that you have, like in your own business, whatever you decide. But I always try to think of my invite and I think about who I'm inviting from. So if it's people from my stories, then I'm probably going to start out by saying, hey girl, thanks so much for showing up in my stories. I'm not sure if you saw this or not, but I'm offering a free group coming up, free meal prep plans, grocery list, just tons of motivation. Do you think that might be up your alley? Okay. I'm going to send that to them, the same exact message to that same group of people. Obviously, if I'm sending an invite to someone who liked my post, I'm not going to say, thanks for showing up in my story. So then I need to change it, right? So craft your invite and then set the timer, because the timer, and on here on our business activity tracker, it tells you to take 15 minutes, which I think I usually do more than that, but your tracker says 15. Set your timer for 15, 20 minutes. The timer helps you to not think about it so much, right? If you've got your invite, bam, 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 you invite. You're not thinking about, well, this girl was an old friend back in high school, and what is she going to think about me if I, but no, don't think about it. You just send, right? You send it, you send it, you send it, you send it, because you're trying to get out as many invites as you can within that amount of time. Okay, so your timer is really important. I do it every day, you guys. I set a timer every day and I invite. The other thing I would really recommend is using voice memos to invite if you feel comfortable with it. Well, I'm not going to say if you feel comfortable because you need to get out of your comfort zone, right? You need to send voice messages. If that person has already shown interest in you and you guys know the same people, they like your stuff, they comment, they're always, always, always there. You need to show them that you want to be up in their business. You want to be personal with them. Send them a voice message and talk to them like you would talk to your girlfriend, okay? Your BFF. It doesn't have to be something like crazy long. Just say, hey, I'm not sure if you know if I do this or not, but I run these virtual accountability groups and it's just for support. It's to hook you up with some really awesome resources to get you going with health and fitness. It's really changed my life. Do you think that's something you might be up for more info for or interested in or up your alley? However you want to say it, make it you. I'm not giving you a script because you be you, but do it in a voice memo. And guess what? A voice memo makes you cut it short, right? 35 seconds, a minute on Facebook, whatever, it cuts you off. So that's your challenge, is to get it all in within one little blurb, send it, and then you wait, you guys. You don't keep sending messages. You wait for them to either say, maybe, like what's up with this? What is she talking about? Challenge group? Like whatever that little curiosity you want for them. They're either gonna say maybe, they're gonna ask you about the cost, or they're gonna ghost you. Okay? People ghost me all the time. This is normal for any coach. The top coaches in the network get ghosted, okay? You cannot get your feelings hurt if you get ghosted, okay? That should be a challenge to you. That should be something that you can prove to that person who's ghosted you in your post, the value that you have. That's how I look at it, you guys. If they have ghosted me, or if they've given me an objection that I can't like talk them out of or kind of prove to them why like their thinking might be a little skewed, then in my post, I'm going to address it. I'm not going to talk to them specifically, but I'm going to talk about a common objection in my post, because people are going to see my post. And if I'm consistent in posting, they're going to keep seeing it over and over. And eventually, over time, when they are ready, they're going to come back to you. Okay? So the ghosts, let that be your motivation. Let that be your push to say, what can I add to my page and my stories that's going to give them value? What free thing can I put out to them to prove to them that they can lose weight, that they can live a healthy lifestyle, that they can join a community that's absolutely incredible and is life-changing, right? Once you send that invite and you know, whatever response you get, if they do send you a message back and they say, okay, possibly send me more information or whatever, the first thing that you need to say back to them is you need to validate them. You need to be like, oh girl, I'm so excited you were interested, or thanks so much for your response. That should be the first thing you say. You validate them, okay? The next thing before you go into anything should be, before I give you the rundown or before I give you the details, tell me a little bit about you. Where are you at? Because you guys, we are not selling things in this business, okay? Do we hook them up with resources and products? Yes, but we are not selling them. We are giving them a solution to their problem. How the heck can you give them a solution to their problem if you don't know what their problem is? You should not get a message and send them the challenge pack link. No, 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 no. You ask them, tell me where you're at. What's been working well for you and what is maybe not working so well for you in your health and fitness journey? That's a really good question you can ask them. A lot of times I will say, I know everybody, like I send voice messages all the time, you guys. I'll say, I know everyone's in a different spot and, you know, we're all so different. So kind of tell me where you're at with your health goals. Like, are you mainly wanting to focus on nutrition, or do you currently have a workout routine? That's typically what I say. I heard a coach on a call the other day say, she always ends with, tell me what's working for you right now and tell me what else is not working. so well for you. Okay. So basically, you're having them tell you what their problem is, right? And guess what? You have a solution. You have a solution for any problem they come up with. If they have digestion issues, Shakeology. If they have nutrition issues, 2B Mindset Ultimate Portion Fix. If they need a good workout routine, workouts, at-home workouts. If they need some workout accountability, Zoom. If they need a community that they can plug into and just the whole accountability piece, hello, that's what we do as coaches. You have a solution for everything that they need. So you should be asking them, tell me what you're, and this should be back and forth, you guys. This may take a week. It may take a couple days. You have to go back and forth before you set them up with any challenge pack, before you give them any link. It should be, how can I help them solve their problem, right? Because we're not selling, we're helping them solve their problem. We're solution providers, right? So you have to wait it out, and you have to go back and forth sometimes, and you have to keep saying, okay, if nutrition is your issue and you really struggle with sugar cravings, okay, well, you know what's really helped me? There's this program called 2B Mindset, and it focuses on emotional eating and how you can really like curb those sugar cravings with, you know, different mantras. Like she talks about how to take one bite to taste. Like I go into all this sometimes, you guys, like, and I relate it to my journey. And I say, at the end of every little snippet that I send, I say, does that sound like something that might help you? Or does that sound like something that would benefit you? Or does that sound like something that you could, I don't know how I say it, you could vibe with or whatever? Like, ask a question at the end. Do you think that would help you? Okay. And then you wait for a response. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but the feel, felt, found method is a really good way to address when you're inviting and you get those, you know, back and forth messages. So when someone has a concern or an objection, you always first say, I understand how you feel. I felt that same way in the beginning too. I didn't want to spend $160 on a challenge pack, but I have found that it's the total package. And once I really dug into the accountability part of all of this, I understood like I needed it more than what I thought. I needed like a group of people who could give me some ideas. I needed a coach to check in every week and, you know, get some tips from on, you know, if I wasn't losing weight like I needed to. Okay. Feel, felt, found. Always go to that method if you're struggling with when you do the invite and somebody's like, yeah, give me more information. Because, you know, sometimes we do that and then we're like, oh, what do I say now? So think about feel, felt, found. Okay. If they do have an objection or if they're just interested, remember that you ask them where they're at and what they need help with the most. Okay. All right. The other thing is if they are completely interested and you're like sending them the link and you know that they're in it, don't leave them hanging after you send them the link and they purchase and everything's good to go. You need to continue through with your commitment and your support to them. So you need to say, this is what I always do. I have this message in my phone in the notes section, and it's a whole, you know, scripted thing. And I say, here's your link to finish out your order. Usually I sign them up as a discount code, so I tell them all about that. And then I say, please let me know your order number when you are finished so that I can send you a success guide. And hopefully you guys all know about the success guide. It's in our group right now. So I can send you the success guide so you can get set up and have all of your resources ready to go and you feel comfortable to get started. And I say something about, I'm so excited to do this with you. I always say that at the end because they need to know, like, it wasn't just a sale, okay? You've had this whole conversation with them. You've asked them about their problems, like where they struggle with their health and fitness journey. And then if you just automatically get a sale and then you don't respond to them, or it takes a couple days and then they're like, what do I do next? That is a sign to them that what is she going to be like as a coach? Like, I always, if I'm sending out a link, I make sure I'm available like right then to carry it out and send them that next message of, what I just told you, because I don't want them thinking, oh, now she's just got the sale. Now what am I going to do? I want them to know, no, I'm in this for you. I'm in this to help you, and I want to help you get results. That's why I do this, you guys. When you, and this was from the last call, but when you get someone to join your team, that's when the work really begins, right? The whole inviting process and getting them on board is just the first little step. Then your true work as a coach begins, okay? So that's when you have to step it up even 10 times harder, okay? So make sure that you show that excitement all the way after they've actually signed up with you. So just remember, you guys, that inviting is such a huge part of this business, and it's so important because we're in this for relationships, right? And we have to invite based on, the person that we see before Beachbody and ourselves, the people that we see out there who we know like could benefit from this. Like, it is our job to put that opportunity out there for them, okay? And we can't let fear and intimidation get in our way of that, because it's all about the relationship. If we can get into, their life and be relational with them and build that connection, that's our job as a coach, right? So the inviting part, think about the triangle. Think about your Instagram feed. Think about your stories. Think about your direct messages. Are they all relating? Is your mindset where it needs to be when you go to send an invite? Are you thinking about how you can truly help that person and who you can truly help? Because it's not about you guys. This is about them. This is about helping the people out there. This is a purpose-driven community. Like, we have a purpose behind what we do. We have a purpose behind our invites. We have a purpose behind our groups. Like, it's not about us. It's not about our fears. It's about giving them that opportunity. Okay. So let me look at the chat. If you have any questions, we're like 4 minutes out from this call cutting off. So if you don't know where the business activity tracker is, you can go to the Beachbody Champions page, Jessica, and you can print that off there. Oh, I answered yours already. Yay. Okay. So I got that, Nikki? Awesome. Okay. Does anybody else have questions about the whole inviting process and stepping out of your own way? Did you guys like that title? Isn't it so true though? Like, we literally have, that's one thing I've learned as a coach, is I have to lay down how I feel. Like, we don't, like, I know a lot of you have your own job. I think all of you have full-time jobs. You don't always want to get up and go to your job. I know you don't, right? But you do, because that's what you have to do. And it's the same thing for inviting. I don't want to invite every day, but I do it because I know the benefits of it. I know that that's going to get more people in my groups. It's going to make me feel more fulfilled when I can help more people. It's the backbone of what we do, is putting ourselves out there and inviting them to this opportunity. So you have to do the hard. You have to get out of your own way, and you have to master the whole, put yourself out there and inviting them to this, to actually get down to what we do as coaches and helping people, right? Does anybody have anything else before we hop off? Did you guys have some good takeaways tonight? Yeah? Anybody want to say anything? We have 2 minutes left and then it'll cut off.
Thank you. That was really helpful because even though I'm in a business that does that too, it's just a different mindset to go into this coaching. So really focusing on the people that are similar to you, that was like an aha moment. So
Good, yay. And I would really recommend too, like just writing down those things. Like I've had to remind myself over and over, like, who was I before Beachbody? Who was I at the very beginning of my health and fitness journey? You know, writing it down and creating your post around that person. It takes some reflecting, you know, it takes some time to actually create your post and think about who are you trying to reach, because ultimately your team, you guys, not just your challengers, but eventually when you build your team, those are going to be the people that are your friends, that you relate to the most, who you're going to have the most connections with, that you're going to have an amazing team that keeps building and snowballing and snowballing, right? So it all comes down to that triangle and your post and your feed and your stories and all of that. Yay, Remy, I'm glad. Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. This is gonna go away. Sorry, it goes off after 40 minutes. So thank you for showing up. This is a big team call night. It makes me so happy. All right, you guys are awesome. I hope you have a great night. And oh, yay, send me that pic, Jessica. All right, you guys have a good night. Bye.